Our journey across the Arabian Sea from Muscat to Mumbai required 2 days. The harbor is hot and sunny and filled with ships of all sizes, and the skyline of Mumbai is visible in the distance. It is the most populous and wealthy city in India. Including surrounding neighborhoods, its population is 21 million. It has a deep water natural harbor and consists of 7 islands which have been joined to form the present city boundary. The area has been inhabited since the Stone Age and was ruled by successive indigenous empires before being succeeded to the Portuguese in 1534. In 1661, the city was given by the Portuguese King John IV to the British King Charles II as a wedding gift for marrying his daughter, the Duchess of Braganza. India became an independent country from Britain in 1947. Our excursion today will be to walk the neighborhoods of central Mumbai, to view the architecture and experience city life. Here's a sample of what we will see. Beginning our walk, the first building that is brought to our attention is the Asiatic Society State Central Library. The society is dedicated to Asian studies and has over 100,000 books and 3,000 ancient manuscripts. Across the street was an intriguing narrow building with a series of relief carvings over the doorways that looked like a version of the Roman god Neptune. We noticed a sign saying Tata Housing and learned that the Tata family is involved in a wide range of products from cars and trucks to toilets and beauty supplies. Tata Housing constructs low-cost, sustainable housing aimed at the economically weaker section of society. Indians like to eat a late breakfast on the street, so they have cool drinks and roasted nuts and eat cake and sandwiches and drink chai coffee. We saw no McDonald's or KFCs. Note the Jain sandwiches. The Jains are a small ancient religious sect that are such strict vegetarians that they wear masks to avoid inhaling live creatures and will not eat the root of a plant because it kills the plant. The Jains are enormously wealthy, controlling the gold and diamond trade in India and around the world. We also learned that there is a huge lunchbox delivery system in India, where lunches prepared by wives at home are picked up and delivered to husbands at work, and then the empty containers are returned to the home later in the day. This costs $10 per month, and there is less than 1 heir per million deliveries. We stopped at the St. Thomas Cathedral, which had its first stone laid in 1676 by the British East India Company. It was the first Anglican church in Mumbai and one of the first churches in India. A photo with the church in the background shows one of the gates which separated Bombay Island from the other islands that used to make up the city. On 2 occasions we saw cows tethered by the side of the road. Cows are holy and passerbys will pay the cow's owners for the right to pet the cow and feed them a handful of hay. Our guide describes India as a land of extremes, and to me this is a perfect example, showing a holy cow in front of a Starbucks. In the second example, people were lined up next to the cow and seemed to ignore it. The only responsibility of the owner is to clean up the cow manure at the end of the day. We'll see many more cows before this journey is over. Passing a newsstand, we're told that over 20 different newspapers are sold here, printed in 20 different languages. India has 29 provinces and 22 spoken languages, which are written in 13 different scripts with 720 dialects. The only common language is English, and many areas have few people that speak English. This creates a barrier for all Indians to think of themselves as one people. We came upon the Bombay High Court building, which is one of the Victorian Gothic buildings of Mumbai. While the city has changed its name, the High Court has chosen to keep the name Bombay. Next to it was the Rajabai Clock Tower, also built in Victorian Gothic style. It was allegedly built by a wealthy Indian who got tired of having his elderly mother constantly ask him what time it was. Continuing down the sidewalk, we noticed a woman sitting on some stones next to a street cleaning cart. We learned that Mumbai had been known as one of the dirtiest cities, but a recent beautification effort has resulted in people being hired to keep streets clean, and they are given the authority to issue citations to those who litter. The third building in the Victorian Gothic group is the University of Mumbai. The university was established in 1857 and has numerous satellite campuses. It's one of the largest universities in the world with an enrollment of 549,000 students. When originally built, the circular stairways were reserved for Englishmen and then later for professors, but now anyone can use them. In Black Horse Square, there was a stone statue of a horse. We learned that there had originally been a statue of King Edward VII on horseback in this location, but in 1965 they decided to get rid of the king and keep the horse. There were numerous other interesting buildings along the way, including the Army-Navy building and the David Sassoon Library. We have arrived at the most impressive building in the city, the Victoria Terminus train station. It is the second most photographed building in India, being surpassed only by the Taj Mahal. It was built in the Victorian Italianate Gothic Revival architectural style, which combines many styles such as turrets and pointed arches. It was built in 1887 to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of Queen Victoria and took 10 years to complete. At the time it was built, it was considered a marvel of engineering. Of special note is the dome, which is an octagonal ribbed structure with a colossal female figure symbolizing progress, holding a torch in her right hand and a spoked wheel in her left hand. The trains in Mumbai carry 6 million people per day, and during the rush hour, the number of passengers per car are referred to as super dense overpack. So many people come to the platform to say goodbye that they sell platform tickets just to stand there. There are special cars in the trains for women, handicapped, and those with serious illness who come into the city for treatment. Adjoining the platform is a ticket office, which is in complete contrast, having the look of a cathedral. The next stop on our excursion was the Prince of Wales Museum. This museum has a fascinating selection of antiquities, including statues and relief carvings of Buddha and Hindu deities, along with precious articles made from jade, ivory, and wood. On the way back to the ship, we stopped at the Gateway to India Monument, which was erected to commemorate the landing of King George V at Wellington Pier on his visit in 1911. It was completed in 1924 and was used as a symbolic ceremonial entrance to India for viceroys and governors. The last British troops to leave the country in 1947 did so through this arch. The next morning we disembarked the ship and took a bus to the airport for a flight to Jaipur. This gave us an opportunity to glimpse other parts of the city. We had been told that Mumbai has more millionaires than New York, and we saw many new buildings and wealthy neighborhoods. But we also learned that 1/3 of Mumbai's population of 7 million people live in slums, and for the first time we got a good look at these slums, where people live in tiny concrete and corrugated metal cubicles, where many of the roofs are covered with blue plastic tarps. This is another striking example of India as a country of extremes.